All right. So, let's do the first trailer. Start with something big. We do the Marvel Cosmic Invasion here. So this is something here. So it's more expansive here. I guess more kind of get detailed, and then we have some more character reveals as well with this. Short, only a minute long here. So we get introduced to some new characters. All right, let's take a look. All right, here we go. Hey, these Guardians characters hot right now, man. Everybody want to put these Guardians characters in there.
I don't think that's ever going to change now, to be honest. I think as long as there are Marvel branded things happening that have a lot of characters in them, I think that's just going to keep being the case.
Yeah. Are you surprised about She-Hulk? Them introducing
I
She-Hulk?
was a little bit, but at the same time, I guess she has become maybe a more well known to the mainstream audience now. But I'm very excited. I've always really liked that character. So Rocket's face in the smoke from the bomb is very good.
Was it right?
Yeah, like right about there. It's like a quick. It's almost blink and you miss it. But
Oh, pretty. Oh, that's
hey, Sauron.
oh yeah, Thanos in there. You know what I'd like to see? Her do Cannonball with Wolverine. I would have liked to see that.
Oh, I bet it's in there.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
Yeah. Okay, so this is more expansive, just showing more characters added to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
just give it's a small thing, but I think it just this studio's done a great job with these. They worked on the Scott Pilgrim game from way back in the day, which is I think just had an anniversary itself recently. They did the Shredder's Revenge game a couple of years ago. They're like right now they're kind of bringing this. Not that there's no one else making these types of games, but I feel like they're doing it on a really special level.
yeah. Well, you mentioned Scott Pilgrim. They do have a sequel to the Scott Pilgrim game.
Same
Uh,
studio.
that is us. Let's check out that right now. That premiered at the Summer Game Fest. So yeah. Did you like the TV show?
I Yeah, we reviewed it. I gave it a This is Cinema.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did review it. Yeah, you were on that review.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I think it's better than the original like comic run, honestly.
Wow. Okay. Is that controversial to say?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like it was pretty well received generally. But I mean, this isn't always going to be the case for every creator. Look at Ridley Scott returning to do Prometheus. But in this case, Brian Lee O'Malley, he came back and that show was him writing a sequel, like to a story that he wrote in his 20s. He then came and wrote a sequel in his 40s. And I thought it was a very intelligent self-reflection on his own art.
Yeah. Yeah, we did review it. I know we talked about the controversy of that, about the whole like people were saying that, oh well, they got tricked into watching the show, and it's like, well, I just thought it was gonna be a straight up adaptation of the comic and not, yeah. The
I
people felt.
mean, I remember us talking about that a little bit, but I think my stance at the time, and I haven't changed my mind, is that like something could be a bait and switch and be bad, and something can be a bait and switch and be good.
Yeah.
It's just that there is a twist, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. It just depends on the execution. I thought it was great there. I get that maybe some people just really want to see a straight up adaptation, but I think the movie did a great job of being that already. I mean, sure, did I get every little detail from the comic? No. Maybe someday they'll go back and they'll do that, but I thought getting something that was a new story to me that felt way more significant and interesting.
Mm, I do agree. So let's check this out. I still want to see a season two. I know they said they weren't doing a season two, but I still want to see a season two.
Well,
Scott.
maybe this game is the season two.
Oh, maybe. Let's check it out.
And you see it's the designs from the show.
And you guys played the first game on stream before. If you want to check that
Yeah,
out,
we did.
you all can check that out on youtube.com. Ratedmforimmaturity. They did play that there.
We got stuck in one elevator for like an hour. And that's like a power remote I only used in the Netflix show.
Oh, the where she goes Super Saiyan, right?
Like Super Saiyan. Yeah, that was she did that in the new series.
Hmm.
Like all the designs here are like very much the kind of updated designs from that anime.
And it's mentioning space and time, and that's what the series did deal with multiverse,
Yep.
things like that. Okay. How you feeling about it?
I think it looks fantastic. I mean, this is the same studio that is just like I was just saying, just doing a great job with the Shredder's Revenge game. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is them. That I think looks great. I'm almost surprised they announced another game before that released, but I think they're on a roll here. They were also responsible for the original Scott Pilgrim game from back in, gosh, was it 2011, 2012 that came out? Something like that. Yeah, I think it looks great. Looks like a great sequel. I'm very happy they're carrying all the designs from the anime forward because I like that anime so much. It looks like a best case scenario Scott Pilgrim game to me.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. Looks like, I mean, I did like that first game a lot. That first Pilgrim game, I thought that was really well done. Like you said, it'd be cool if this was a continuation a little bit of the series there. If it's like, okay, we couldn't do a season 2 with Netflix, maybe this is a way of our doing a season 2 there in that kind of video game form, which would be awesome if they did that. Seeing they said it'll be 7 playable characters, so we already saw Scott, Ramona. I wonder if maybe definitely the roommate will be involved. You have that. Maybe you'll
Yeah, I
have
mean, in the first one, you've got Wallace, the roommate, Knives, Steven, Kim. Uh, I want to say young Neil might have even been playable. You had quite a few in there. I wonder. And this is just my thought, but if you're doing a sequel and you want to kind of change up the roster a little bit, in the new show in the anime, they had the villains from the original story all got like way more screen time
mm,
in that show. And I wonder it could be kind of fun if maybe a bunch of the villains were the other playable characters because they kind of weren't villains anymore in that series.
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to see like if you could play, yeah, some of the X's. That would be kind of good there if they brought in because, like you said, there was a different spin on them. It was like an alternate story type thing there. They were just misunderstood. They just needed
Yeah.
a good talking to there. So they were kind of, but Gideon still ended up being pretty evil though.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
still
he was
evil.
a total douche.
Yeah. So he's still all right. So yeah, that was Scott Pilgrim X there. 2026 was the date there for it. So yeah, that. This is all pretty short. This is a pretty short trailer right here as well. This was just like an announcement type trailer there, but we saw a little bit of something. This was all, but this was kind of cool to see. Big surprise there, and let's play it. Uh,
They're out there. All
Gotta rescue one. This is what we gotta protect. We cannot choose when people's dreams get snatched up by
find Inspector Deck, find Rizzo, find Master Kid, find Jizzle, find Method, find Ray, find you, find Cabot, find Ghostface Killer.
Where is the Wu-Tang Clan?
Like X-Men Days of Future
Find
Past.
them.
yeah, it's on the wall. Missing places. Wu-Tang: Rise of the Deceiver. You got that Wu-Tang game there. Um, and there has been a Wu-Tang game before, way back in the day. There has been a Wu-Tang game before. Did you ever get the Wu-Tang?
I I didn't even know there was one actually.
Oh, I'll show you that. That one looks it's probably one of the most ridiculous looking controllers ever. But yeah, there was a whole Wu Tang controller. Yeah, but you got
Wow.
this. Hmm. I like the animation style. I like that.
Yeah, it's almost got that like kind of that Spider-Verse frame dropping effect a little bit.
Yeah. And let me I'll pull up some notes about this game. But yeah, Rise of the Deceiver there. Just an announcement. It's no release date yet for it. So it's not saying
Right.
2026, not saying that or anything like that. But in the description here, under this video, it says to save their home of Shaolin, the Wu Tang clan must pass on their fantastical powers to a new generation of warriors who've been
Hmm.
called to battle back the forces of an evading, corrupting force, the Deceiver. You and your friends will fight alongside the Wu Tang Clan, calling on their powerful skills and timeless wisdom to restore Shaolin to a beacon of hope, community, and prosperity. Wu Tang Rise of the Deceiver was initially conceived as a tie in to Angel of Dust, an upcoming supernatural thriller produced by Ghostface Killer, but to be directed
Hmm.
by RZA under AOD Films there. So you got that there. So people
You think the
mentioned
Deceiver's gonna be Kanye?
He's another rapper there. That'd be funny. Yeah,
They kick him out of town.
him wearing all the robes and everything like that. That would be something. But yeah. So let me show you the Wu Tang controller there. But yes, there was a. I'll show you also the video game that Wu Tang had before as well. But yeah, so just kind of an announcement there, a little showing a little footage. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long before this game comes out. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, we don't have much more than just the concept, but I think the concept is cool at least. I mean, the art style of it, the kind of way animation moves is a solid style. I really like that. So it kind of reminds me of the Spider-Verse or, the Ninja Turtles movie did it a bit. Or, we're starting to see that become maybe a slightly more common style in certain places. But I think it looks cool. I mean, I always say music is probably like compared to movies or video games or TV. It's probably like the media that I'm the least knowledgeable about, but I do enjoy the Wu-Tang Clan music, even though I couldn't, you know, probably couldn't tell you too many songs by name. But I've always thought that they were had a great sound at the very least. So I mean, I feel like it's a great idea to have a video game with that as the soundtrack.
Yeah. So this was a game right here, Wu Tang Shaolin style. You had all the various members of the Wu Tang there. Can you name all the members of the Wu Tang?
No, I could not.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a big group, for sure. So there's a lot of them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
was this PlayStation 2?
yes, I believe it was PlayStation 2. This game, the Wu Tang Shaolin style. This game came out, I believe, in 1999. This game.
Okay.
So you did have that. And this was the Wu Tang controller right here. So this was it. Bad design for a controller, good design for a controller. What do you?
Uh, it doesn't look like it would be super comfortable to hold, but I'll say that it doesn't look as uncomfortable to hold as the Nintendo 64 controller. So that's something.
Uh,
At least it
what did
doesn't
they?
look like it was made for someone with three hands. So,
Yeah. And they had the whole setup, a whole launch with
oh, that
this.
looks like PlayStation 1.
Oh yeah, this was like. Oh yeah, this was PlayStation One. Yeah, PlayStation One right here. You had the disc right there. You had the controller. You had its own system console there. Man, I mean, if whoever had this probably kept on to it, that's probably worth a lot of money now. That's probably a good collector's
Oh, I
item.
bet. Yeah, that's going to be a huge collector's item.
You'd be like Martin Shkreli when he had the Wu Tang album there. But yeah, so man, I would love to play the game. I would actually love to go back. I actually never played the game myself.
Well, like I said, I didn't even know about it. So that would be. Wonder finds the old used game store maybe. We
For
got an old
$500.
copy
Yeah,
back there.
you can get it. But yeah, this came out. Yeah, PlayStation there. And this is the basis of the game's story is setting the real life hip hop group known as the Wu Tang Clan, featuring the characters based on their stage personas and their martial art themes of their music. Some of the members of the group provided voiceover work and made vocal and production contributions to the music there. And the Wu Tang Shaolin style uses a unique game engine called Paradox Development, originally made for the unreleased PlayStation title Thrill Kill. Have you ever heard of that? Thrill Kill?
No, I'm not at all.
The game was noteworthy for allowing up to 4 players to fight simultaneously, a feature present in Shaolin style there. Due to the game's graphic depictions of blood and violence, and special code printed on the instruction manual must be entered within the game to see the full uncensored action. That's pretty nice. So yeah.
Wanna guess how much that controller goes for on eBay?
I'd say 600,
800.
800. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I mean, you can only be compatible with the PlayStation, right? Just the PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't play. I mean, there are you might be able to buy like a third party cable converter online somewhere, but I mean, yeah, just out of the box at least, PlayStation 1 is that's all you're going to be able to plug it into.
Do you have?
I guess the PlayStation 2. I think some of that hardware was compatible with the two.
Yeah. Do you still have a PlayStation One?
I never had a PlayStation 1.
Oh, you never had one. Oh, okay. Were you
Yeah.
a Dreamcast?
No, my first console that I had at home myself was the first Xbox, and then I played like PlayStation and GameCube at like friends' houses.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Or
So
Super Nintendo before that even. I mean, I got my hands on an Atari. It was probably the first, console I ever touched, but it just wasn't mine.
ah, gotcha. Okay. But I'm looking forward to this. It's on my radar. Yeah, good old Wu Tang. Yeah, Rise of the Deceivers. That's on my watch list there. Would you say that this upcoming game probably is the biggest one to come from out of the show? Most people were talking about it. Resident Evil Requiem. Would you say?
Oh, for sure, it's the biggest one.
Yeah. So let's check out this trailer here for Resident Evil Requiem here. Yeah. So this is yeah, next entry in the beloved horror franchise there, and it's February 27th is the release date.
Yeah, really soon, which is kind of nuts. But I think that's something Capcom's actually pretty consistently good about is there's usually not a huge amount of time in between.
Take a look.
Sir,
Now you know that they faked everybody out 2 times, right?
Oh no, I didn't know that. So what happened?
So during the show, there was the woman Maggie. I forget her last name, but she was the voice of the big tall vampire lady in Village. They play like a commercial, and she comes out, and it's like, oh, is this? Are they revealing Resident Evil? And then she starts talking about how there's a sale on Resident Evil games, and then it ends, or I guess Capcom in general. And then they go back, and it's like, oh, okay, well maybe they're going to talk about something later. And then she comes back on again, and she's like, here's a message from the director of the series or whatever, and it goes to this guy, and he's like, hey, we're really hard at work on the next game. We know you've all been wondering about it, but we're not quite ready to show anything. Just a little longer, and you'll see it soon. And then they cut away, they were clearly trying to get you to not expect to see it. And this was the last thing they showed.
Mm.
Grace. Grace. Grace Ashcroft.
yes?
And is that from the?
Yes. So Alyssa Ashcroft was a journalist in Resident Evil Outbreak. There's an Outbreak 1 and 2 back on the PlayStation 2. It takes place in Raccoon City, kind of at the same time as like 2 and 3 do. And it's like a whole bunch of other survivors that you play as. There's like, I want to say 4 or 5 maybe playable characters in those, or at least in each one. And yeah, no, it's like a whole other kind of spin-off sub section of the franchise that I feel like most people that have just kind of played recent games or maybe got into it with 7 or the remakes, just they don't really know about. They were more survival games, like they had like weapons that would break and like all that kind of degradation mechanics and stuff like that. And the mother of this character was a journalist in that game. And then then the thing too is that they reference that character in 7. There's actually an article you can pick up referencing the mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, in an article she's written. And then they say in this trailer that your mother died 8 years ago, so that would have been a year after 7 within the timeline or whatever. And there's even kind of what seems like a sly reference to her in the 4 remake that was not in the original 4. And from what I understand, Resident Evil Village was originally meant to be Revelations 3 and kind of more of a spin-off game instead of the next mainline numbered game. And so I think this is something they've been planning since 7, since before 7 came out. Because it seems like they've been kind of dropping little things and building up to what's going to be going on here for a long time.
Gotcha. Okay.
My office.
Oh, coming.
As far as I'm aware, it's also the first time that the FBI has ever been important in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel.
And that is from which game?
That is new as far as I know.
Okay.
This hotel is a new place.
Okay.
I know that's where your mother was murdered. Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
That boss moves sensitivity
Grace.
training.
What is this? Hey!
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. A special one. The chosen one.
Yeah. Now that could, I don't know, but I'm wondering if that could be Oswald Spencer. That's the founder of the Umbrella Corporation. Now we've seen him die on screen technically, but we've also seen Albert Wesker die like 3 or 4 times on screen. So, you know.
Miss Ashcroft.
And where is this supposed to be?
That's Raccoon City,
Oh, Raccoon.
30 years later.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
And those voices, are those somebody?
I'm not sure about the male voices, but I'm pretty sure I've heard Jill's voice actor somewhere in there. But keep in mind that actress also played like one of the vampire daughters in Village. So some of these actors have played multiple roles in some of the different games. So even though I'm pretty confident I heard Jill's voice, it doesn't mean it's for sure the Jill character.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Iconic location.
Oh shit! What was that? What the hell? Jeez, what the hell? Was that supposed to be?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly got nothing for that one.
Hey. And then
Classic
after
zombie
that,
game.
you You
Yeah,
got
that seems like a serial killery thing, which I feel like Resident Evil's never really done before. Like they've never done like a serial killer horror figure at all.
yeah. You got Bruce Willis from Unbreakable choking, just putting a plastic sheet over this guy. Jeez. So it seems like it's going to be like a bottle game. Maybe you just spend one time, or maybe you're going around Raccoon City, going.
It seems like there's going to be at least for sure two different locations, right? The hotel is like a level in the middle of a populated city where something for some reason is contained to just the one building, and then also this, you know, completely destroyed Raccoon City, uh, getting to return to that for after 30 years. Um, I I I feel like there might be more locations even than that in the game, but we're this is just the first trailer. But there's all these little things like they're tying in the Outbreak games with the Ashcraft last name. They're obviously we're going back to Raccoon City. That's a classic part of the franchise. That could be Oswald Spencer, and the only time we saw him on screen was five. Um, I swear I hear Jill's voice. There's the rumors have, leading up to this game's announcement that I had been hearing. It's a lot of there's going to be a new character and then Leon, and those are going to be your two leads. So I don't know. We don't see Leon in this trailer, but it seems like based on everything we know that they're maybe pulling from threads across the franchise. And I've also heard for a long time that they wanted this next one to be kind of the final game with a number attached to it. Like they're not going to stop making Resident Evil after this, but they might do more experimental things, maybe tied to the continuity less after this. At least, again, that's rumor, so it can't be, that's not 100% out of Capcom's mouth. So take that with a bit of a grain of salt. But
Mm.
if they're really pulling, we're going back to Raccoon City after all this time, and there's all these other weird threads coming up. I do think that this could maybe be like a big grand finale for the plot threads that have continued across the games, and that it's going to kind of give us a fresh start afterwards.
Crowd going crazy.
And then, there's a lot of speculation about that figure too that we're seeing. So there's like chain rattling sounds and stuff a little bit, and with the up close to the teeth. I'm seeing a lot of people speculate that that might be the Lisa Trevor monster from the first game. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but it was an
Lisa Trip.
early experiment of Umbrellas that they this poor woman, with all these horrible experiments they did on her, and it basically made her immortal. Like, and it's an enemy it's the first enemy you can't kill, right? In these games, and even unlike Nemesis, where oh you do find a way to kill him at the end, or Mr. X and two, you eventually kind of have a boss fight where you do take him out. Lisa Trevor just doesn't ever die. Like you never kill her in that original game, and yeah, the manor explodes, but I mean, you don't see her die. You don't see her in the manor when it explodes. And I mean, it would make a lot of sense if she wandered into the city from the manor and maybe has been roaming the ruins of Raccoon City this whole time. So yet another thing that maybe that's not what it is, but it seems possible that it could be. So just another thing that's like, all right, here's all these things from across the series that could potentially kind of tie together in one big finale game.
Okay. And this is the character right here.
Yep, that's her.
Yeah. And they yesified her right here. They dolled her
Of
up.
course they did.
Okay.
Because it's the internet.
Yeah. I guess she's got the admirer somewhere. I mean, it's a pot for every lid, I guess.
I'm sure she'll be very glad to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Very awesome. So yeah, February 27th, 2026. So
And
not
then
too
also there, with the title, there's a Q sound in the Japanese, uh, uh, like the letter or the number nine in Japanese. There's a Q sound in how you say it. I've seen a lot of people wondering, like, well, you can't put red nine Wium. Like people have been saying that, like that doesn't make any sense, but it's because of how you say it in Japanese. That's why the
uh-huh.
nine is in the spot of Q.
Okay.
Just something that doesn't necessarily translate to English very well.
Hmm. So yeah, don't have to wait too long for that. Just another time there. So yeah, Resident Evil Requiem there. All right. Does look disturbing. Does look incredibly disturbing there.
And they've been talking about how they want it to kind of be kind of totally redefine the gameplay of Resident Evil. So based on that too, this could be another situation like 4 and then 7, where the format's kind of totally changed and thrown around. And if it's true that you have, say, this Grace Ashkoff character and then also Leon, and they're both kind of playable main characters, maybe you have first person with one character, third person with another, like different combat systems, different gameplay styles, depending on who you're playing as, just based on how they've been talking about how different they want this to be.
Okay, very nice. Another game in the franchise. We got Mafia: The Old Country here. This is from there. So this is the official story trailer that we're getting in Mafia: Old Country here. Let's take a look at this one.
Betrayal burns because it can only come from someone close. An enemy can't hurt you like a friend.
Who are you?
Sono Enzo. I work here.
My friends, my family, my beautiful daughter, Isabella.
Don Torrisi looks out for
Ubisoft should take some lessons. A little bit of the facial
Sometimes
animation.
the client is feeling less than cooperative, and we need to teach them a lesson. Remind them of their obligations.
This is between us and Spadaro.
Where I come from, commitment means everything.
If this is how he wants it, this is how it'll be.
The Dons noticed you, Enzo. This is an opportunity.
Do you wish to commit to this family?
Enzo! We can't let them get away!
When Isabella became involved, it became our business.
He died for my father, for his honor. I won't let you do the same.
And this is taking place in like old Italy, right in the 20s, right?
I think earlier than that even. I want to say this might be pre-World War One, actually.
Mm.
I'll see if I
This stays between me and you.
This family, loyalty is everything.
We do not always get to choose what we do.
We can choose who we are.
And who are you, Enzo?
Okay.
It says what I'm finding here. It just says early 1900s. It doesn't really have a specific year attached to it, but I'm guessing it's pre-World War One, based on that.
Yeah. So this is coming out August 8th, so it's coming out pretty soon. And there is the Mafia remake that they put out there. You can play it on Game Pass, so you can do
We
that.
did a full stream of that as well.
Yeah, so hey, that's another game you can check out there with this. Does it look like something that you would kind of check out maybe later down the line, or would it be your first
Uh,
day buy?
I don't know if it'll be a day one buy, but I'm interested for sure. I mean, I like Italian mafia stuff in general. I like that kind of subgenre a lot. I also think it's a great idea to basically take like the flashback from Godfather 2 and go, let's set a whole story in that, basically. I think that's very smart. Let's do the whole thing in Sicily. Um, and also, there's been, it's the fourth Mafia game, and sometimes in the series, the open world elements could feel a little maybe lackluster in some of the games. I think they've actually had pretty strong narratives consistently, but sometimes like the open world stuff can get repetitive. And this one I think is making a very smart choice of kind of just not doing that at all. This is going to be a much more linear, just kind of straightforward. Let's just go through the story sort of thing. And I do, one thing that could get me to maybe make it a day one purchase even is this is yet another game that is going to be retailing for only $49.99 when it comes out. And I really do want to reward, just like Claire Obscure, I want to reward the studios that are pricing their games at these much more reasonable price points.
Mm. I mean, and these games aren't short games. Usually, Mafia games are pretty long, so they're pretty lengthy. Um, so probably a good amount of length on that. So for $50, yeah. Hey, maybe we go back to those days. Hey, maybe the market and go like, hey, let's go back to the $50 games. Back when PlayStation 2 games came out, it was like everybody was like, oh shit, $50 games. Like, oh man. But yeah, now those days.
Hey, Remedy's putting FBC Firebreak out at 39.99.
Yeah. So should I? Because I could get on Game Pass, but I was thinking, should I get it on rather console or should I get it just on?
Do you on your PlayStation? You have PlayStation Plus to play online multiplayer, but do you have just like the basic version, or is it the higher tier that
I
comes
think
with?
it's just the basic.
Okay, so I was gonna say just like Game Pass, it's also free on the PlayStation if you have that like higher tiered version of the subscription. Because they're trying to just make it as friendly and easy to get into as everybody. The thing is it's gonna be cross play. So if say you get it on the Xbox, I get it on the PlayStation, we're still gonna be able to play it together.
Yeah. I was wondering if I should support it or not. Trying to buy it.
I
Uh,
mean, I want to. I mean, I've loved Remedy so much that I think even if I was on Xbox and I was using Game Pass, I would probably still buy it anyway. But that's just me. I mean, how much do you think you're going to get out of it? How much do you think you're going to play it? You know, that sort of thing.
hmm. So, the Mafia games, I do have that on Game Pass. It's one of the long list in the collection of Game Pass I got right now. That's growing, but yeah, I do have that the remastered where people can play all the games there with that. But yeah, okay, good old classic Mafia there. We got Onimusha, Way of the Sword there. Now there was an announcement for this at another game showing there. So here we're getting gameplay trailer with this. Instead of just an announcement trailer.
Another Capcom title too.
Yeah, so very awesome there. So let's check this out. Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
This isn't hell or my world. What is this place? Kill. Also.
Pretty good parry system right there, you think?
I mean, it looks like it. I like how I've never played the older Onimusha games. That's the gap in my gaming history. But it looks like really tight swordplay mechanics. And the originals, as from what I understand, it was they always had a slightly more kind of slow, deliberate gameplay to them because they were kind of like, what if we took the Resident Evil formula, but set it in like feudal Japan and gave you all melee options. So there's a bit of a Resident Evil backbone in it, where it's like you kind of gotta be careful and really kind of plan out what you're doing, sort of a thing.
You don't have a chance.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's probably just like big kind of enemy type right here. Wonder if they'll show a boss battle.
That might be a boss with the cutscene part there.
Oh.
That makes it look like a boss.
Now this looks like definitely a boss battle. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a boss.
Wow, very flamboyant guy here. Okay, got the drip right here. This shirt, very much. Yeah. Got the hair. Looks like something more like at that Yakuza pirate game, more like something like this game.
And it won't be a coward who runs from Jews. Words never did work between us, did Sasaki Ganyu.
Got to show you what you're fighting for, man. Beautiful woman, man. Got to show you what you're risking it all for. 2026. 2026 this.
2026.
So what does his gauntlet do exactly? Do you know all the magical properties of it?
Well, as far as gameplay purposes go, I believe it's how you kind of absorb your experience points. You absorb like health items. It's kind of like your interface for how you just interact with a lot of the world in general. Story wise, I'm not sure.
Okay. Maybe I'll look that up real quick. But yeah. Did you want more game footage? Was this enough?
I mean, I think that's enough for me. It's something I feel like Capcom has been on a pretty good roll in general for a while now, from Resident Evil to Pragmata. They're showing stuff off for just a few of the different franchises they got going. They brought Devil May Cry back and really made that great again with five. So I feel like Capcom's a studio that right now, if they put their brand on something, I'm willing to kind of give it a shot almost no matter what. But I also think the style here is really good, and they showed gameplay once before too that was maybe a little more in depth. So they kind of sold me on that part already. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of what's a release date for it? When am I going to get that?
Mm. Yeah, just another vague 2026. If you had to best guess, what are you thinking?
I bet it's like fall at the earliest.
Mm. Okay.
I could see it getting pushed back even a little bit.
Well, I think this is my favorite one so far. Out of the Summer Game Fest, one I'm most interested in. Let's move on to Stranger Than Heaven. This was another one you were excited to talk about.
And this, we've talked about this game once before, but it was just called Project Century the last time. So it also was given a official title too with this trailer.
Oh yeah, this was the game that we said that looked like I said it looked like Warrior or something that HBO show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first trailer was 1914, I want to say it took place, and I think it says a different date in this trailer. So I'm curious if there's like time travel or if it's just like there's just a lot of time passes over the course of the game. But there's definitely a lot going on here.
From 1950.
Oh, is this the one that just came out?
This one said June 6th on it.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then.
Yeah. Well, actually, hold on. Oh no. I clicked on. Oh yeah, this one says 3 days. Okay, this one's the right one. Okay. Let me go. Yeah, it says title reveal teaser trailer.
18.
That's an empty club. I guess they're not very good. Like 10 people there, 15 people.
Maybe it's opening night. You never know. Cool lighting transition too.
Maybe we're in for a good jazz soundtrack for this thing.
There you go. And yeah, 43 this time. So the initial, kind of untitled title was Project Century. So it seems like either there's potentially going to be some supernatural elements where there's a reason for jumping around, or it is just going to take place across a very large amount of time. Either way, it's interesting.
Damn.
Just block a Molotov cocktail with your hands.
Some of the elements, like what they show, like when he has a cigarette or something like that, very like some of the way these prompts look, very kind of Detroit Become Human a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I was also going to say L.A. Noir.
L.A. Noir is that as well.
Name. Got a name?
Malko. Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
I don't think it's culturally sensitive. I don't think you can say that, man. That's very culturally sensitive there. But
You're not? So, what are you then?
さあな。俺が知りてえや。
So we think it's some supernatural thing coming. He's maybe a demon or something like that.
I think it could be either one, honestly. I think it could just be historical and just take place over a long period of time, or this game could also be hiding some stuff and it could get a lot more out there than we realize.
Because what's he doing right there? Like what is he? It's just like a prompt for you to listen to the speaker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's just that.
I think a lot of the combat mechanics look pretty cool. Cool like environmental interactions. Say something like yeah, in certain respects, it maybe reminds me of something like Sleeping Dogs too, where I feel like you had, you know, something that was not Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't like ripping it off or anything. Like Mafia, when it first started, kind of felt like it was ripping Grand Theft Auto off. It's got a more unique identity than that, but similar to like Sleeping Dogs, having this like kind of intimate open world that's like smaller but dense and packed with a lot of stuff. But it's also got then with the historical setting and everything here. I think this looks really interesting. Very curious to see where it's going to go.
And no release date. No release date at all for this.
Yeah, probably not even next year. Honestly, this is probably a 2027 game.
Yeah, seems like they're game that's going to take a little bit longer. And still don't know exactly what it's all going on. Keeping a good mystery about it. So in the way that's kind of good. It's kind of something.
Get some intrigue.
All right, let's move on to Out of Worlds. Let's move on to that. Check out that trailer. Very unique. What stop motion animation that you have here going on?
Yeah.
This stop motion animation, dying kind of art. That not a lot of people still do the good old stop motion.
I do feel like you're starting to see it pop up in video games a bit, where I don't think it really ever used to, but lately I feel like I'm starting to see it happen more.
Didn't you review a game that was stop motion?
Yeah. The Harold Halibut is what. Yeah, Harold Halibut. And then I've seen like there's the Midnight Walk that came out in May this year. That's also got kind of a claymation stop motion style to it. I think the thing with video games is you can do that and cut down on the work that it takes to actually do full stop motion. You can make all the figures and you can have all the stop motion. Then you can scan the thing into a computer program, and then you can still kind of do like a 3D render where you can animate it a lot faster, but then you still have the basis of the real prop. So you can kind of achieve the stop motion aesthetic and the look of it, but then still have like a faster production cycle than actual stop motion.
Take a look. Out of Worlds. Was that a face hugger?
It's a really cute face hugger. I've got one of those back here.
Cute though. Yeah, cute little thing. Makes it kind of look like you're just a small little thing amongst this kind of big world here, kind of going on.
Yep. Hideo Kojima comments on this being his favorite game from the show.
Okay. Very nice. Great work here. Great designs. That's kind of going on.
Don't you see? We can't.
Come on, follow me.
This creature allows you to fly, teleport. Um,
Just
and it's
great art style. I mean, you don't get to see too much of what the story is there, but really, really great art style. And I'm always pushing for, hey, more co-op games, right? Make more things that you can play couch co-op, not necessarily online. And it looks like you've got some great like couch co-op puzzle platforming gameplay going on there.
yeah. So it said Outer World is a co-op platformer adventure about the doubt and confusion that comes with communicating first-time love. Lovingly
Hmm.
crafted and hand animated, the adventure is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC via the Epic Games Store in 2026. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So cool co-op game. Hopefully they do like what the other co-op game did, like that. Was
Oh,
it
Split Fiction.
Split Fiction? Where they, hey, if you buy it, you can just have the other person. They don't need to buy it. Maybe they do something like that.
Hopefully. I mean,
That
it's a great way to get your game just in more people's hands. So,
yeah, they could do something like that. And I mean, I think they can sell a lot of toys with that cute little face hugger there. I think a lot of people love that.
oh, probably.
Yeah, that's very nice. Um, Memories in Orbit. That's another one there. Let's check
Another
that.
indie.
Memories in Orbit there. I feel like we talked about it. Was there a showing of this before?
I think we have talked about it before. I don't remember exactly when or how long ago, but I do think it's come up.
Oh, this was Nintendo Switch. They did it at the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, yes, that is what it was. Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at it. So this is a gameplay. This is a gameplay trailer here. Let me know if this is the right one. This is 5 days ago.
A drop
Yep, that's the
in
right
the
one.
ocean.
Now they're just really striking art style.
Finds among withering
I
stars.
think wasn't this your favorite one at Nintendo Direct?
My
I think it
God,
was. Yeah, I think it was at the time for that show. Um,
boundless,
like,
from
like
eye
it's
to
got, yeah, it's
heart,
just got such a striking visual look.
livelier than ever.
It's almost got a similar kind of watercolor shading to it that something like Okami or that Bayonetta Origins game has.
Yet its blooms hide deeper, darker roots.
And is
Met-
very much a Metroidvania as well.
oh yeah, Metroidvania. Yeah.
A hunger that cannot ever be satiated. And then there's you again. The little sapling who wished to save the sun.
And like a lot of these games from the showcase, a lot of these games look like okay, they're not gonna be about $80. Looks like they're gonna be a lot cheaper than that.
No, yeah. A lot of these are definitely going to be
Will
like
you give
20,
back
30
what
bucks,
you have
probably.
been?
Yeah, the most expensive one is probably gonna be what the Onimusha game. Probably.
Yeah, that'll be a full. Well, granted, actually, uh, so far Capcom, even when other games started being released at $70, Capcom has actually been releasing its main line Resident Evil games at 60 still. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. They might not go all the way up to that price point.
Play the demo now. Are you gonna? Have you already downloaded the demo?
I believe it's only Steam and Xbox.
Ah,
The demo's on right now.
Steam Xbox. Okay. Yeah. So
Otherwise, I would.
yeah. But it is coming when it comes out. It's going to come out on all platforms when it comes out, like the Switch. I'm surprised they don't have Switch 2 on here.
I wonder if some of these studios just haven't had a chance to get like Switch marketing materials or watermarks yet.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, you need to pay that toll to get that Switch 2 watermark.
Got to pay the troll toll.
Yeah, but Memories in Orbit there. Even with the gameplay trailer, no exact date yet. Seems like it's released. So you have that, but no exact date yet. But yeah, but it's supposed to come out initially this year. It's supposed to come out.
Yeah, I got one of those that got pushed back already.
Yeah. Memories on it, and then there's a game called Felt That.
This looks weird. I don't even know how I feel about this, but I feel like it was so strange it was worth talking about. At the very least, getting a reaction to it.
Yeah, well, it seems like you play as a Muppet. Let's check this out.
It's a gritty Muppet game.
Felt that boxing right here.
Fuzzy, the tournament of a million punches, you'll get yourself
It's like trying to be very dramatic and serious, which I think is meant to be funny. But
Show me what you got. What? If you're gonna be champ, we gotta transform. Why are you even here? Don't waste my time.
Save us, Fuzzy, or we'll die.
it feels like a South Park skit.
Or somebody made an extension of that movie with the Detective Muppets or whatever. What was that movie called?
I vaguely know what you're talking about, but I never saw that.
Yeah, which I heard wasn't really that good, but I heard it just relied too much on like
It didn't look very good.
it just was like the shock value of Muppets cursing. Like, oh, isn't that funny? Just Muppets cursing there.
This maid ain't gonna be itself. I've been taking dumps in there all day.
It's like Punch Out, though. Like the gameplay, it's literally like Punch. It's basically Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Felt that box. And this is gameplay footage right here.
Yeah, that's actual gameplay.
Huh.
I mean, they made it look like they were really like puppets.
And music by Flying Lotus. Okay, very epic producer, everything like that. In music is Flying Lotus. He actually just came out with a movie this year, Ash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very different, very strange, very weird.
It's weird. Like I said, I don't really know how I feel about it. I just thought it was weird enough that it was worth mentioning.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'd be surprised. I thought this may be Hideo Kojima's. Maybe he didn't pick. He didn't like this one. Maybe this is his favorite one. But
You know, maybe once it comes out, he'll steal. Like, I can't even make games anymore. This topped everything I did.
And no release date, just says, hey, it'll be there. It's on wish list. You can put on your wish list, but no release
It almost seems like something that would be a joke, and then you'd find out it's not even like an actual game. But who knows?
Maybe they're just trolling all of us. Maybe it's gonna be a TV show, something like that. There. Last thing from Summer Game Fest before we move on to the Xbox Showcase, we got DLC for a game that Sage just recently reviewed, Lives of P. There, people are very excited about this. You got Lives of P Overture right there, which is it out right now already? I think it's out.
Yeah, they shadow dropped it, so like it took an hour or two for this store to update, but almost right after the trailer came out, it was available.
Have you played some of it already?
Yeah, I've gotten through the first like little section or two. But this is, from what I understand, they're saying 15 to 20 hours for this DLC, which means it's probably longer than that because they always give a shorter time than it actually is with these types of games. So we'll see how long it actually takes to go through. But it basically for $30, it's like it feels like a whole sequel.
Okay. Maybe Game of the Year material. Oh, I said maybe maybe Game of the Year.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it DLC for Game of the Year, but that's just me. Make it best DLC. Solve the problem.
I'm sorry, we say?
Just do like a best DLC award. You know?
Yeah.
Best expansion.
Yeah. You can get Alan Moore here crawling out right here. Very great. Ooh. Just using them as a broom, man.
That's what it feels like most of the time you play a Souls game, honestly.
Very God of War esque right there.
Yeah, yeah, you get some of those epic little uh, boss interactions like that.
Quick time events. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
available now.
so what is the story? What is Overture? What is that about?
Well, Witcher, I mean, it's a music term, right? It's like a piece of music that you kind of start with. Um, and and this is something that is straight out of Dark Souls, that then they're basically copying verbatim here, which has really worked out for them genuinely so far. So take as much inspiration from the Dark Souls games as you need. But it's pretty typical for From Software. Dark Souls 1 does this. Sekiro does this. I think Dark Souls 3 does this. But a lot of the times when they release a DLC expansion, you will literally time travel to the like place that the DLC is. Sometimes you even see areas that you've already seen, but in a different time period. And it's very much the same thing here. I haven't even gotten to the first boss yet, but right away the characters are commenting when you go to this new area, like, oh, this place burned down, so how are we here? But stuff like that. So it's like I said, I haven't gotten that far into it. I don't know fully story wise what's going on, but it is the Pinocchio time travel story you didn't know you wanted.
Hmm. But very cool action scenes like you got here. Are people pretty high on the Overture DLC? The
So
reception's good.
far, so far the reviews I've seen, the word of mouth is pretty solid. This DLC one, actually, you don't have to buy the DLC to get this part. So this is just a free update for anybody that has the game. But they did add two easier difficulties. So there's the standard, and then there's an easy mode and a very easy mode. So your normal, just what the game is now just your like hardest difficulty, and then there's an easy and a very easy. So they clearly want more people to feel like they can play this, even if maybe you're not used to these sorts of games and the difficulty that can come with them. So they have made it more friendly to a wider audience, which I think is also cool. I'm going to continue to play it. I played the whole normal game just on just the way it was. So I'm going to stick to that for the DLC. But I think it's cool that like that opens it up to a whole new audience.
Hmm. Okay. But it is available now. People can pick it up there. A add-on addition to your experience there. So, very nice. And the boss fight, I think you said it in the review, right? Are their characters based within like the lore of like the yeah.
Some of it's coming from Pinocchio, but they also work in things from other just kind of Victorian mythology. Like I mean, uh, there's very much like a Frankenstein in the game. They're kind of messing with other things other than just Pinocchio, but they'll weave it and wrap it around very interesting twists on the Pinocchio kind of mythos. Like it feels like a whole Pinocchio mythology now, especially with the way they kind of fleshed it out and added to it.
Yeah. Who's the guy crawling out of the egg there? The big yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I've got no idea what's going on there.
What about
Um,
the woman that looks like the White Walker? What about her? Oh,
no clue.
okay.
We'll see. In the main game there was a Frankenstein. There was very much like a Bride of Frankenstein type of boss, kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of character. And they teased up a sequel at the end of the main game, for Oz, like a Wizard of Oz being kind of the next thing they're going to do after this DLC. So they're going to pull from a lot of different literature for this world.
Hmm. Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. So yeah, that was Liza P there. And that was Summer Game Fest.